Day 1 felt like freedom. Day 12 felt like a slow-motion panic attack. I want to show you something real, not the highlight reel, not the aesthetic laptop on a beach version of passive income that every finance channel keeps selling you. I want to show you what actually happens when you try to live off passive income with no salary safety net. No client work, no freelance fallback, just the money coming in while you sleep. Or at least that was the plan. 30 days, real money, real bills, real consequences. Let me take you back to where this started. I'd been building what I thought were solid passive income streams for about 8 months before this experiment. A print-on-demand store on Etsy, a small digital product on Gumroad, some royalties from stock content, and a YouTube channel monetized through AdSense. On paper, these things were working. Combined, they were pulling in somewhere between $600 and $900 a month on average. Not life-changing, but consistent enough that I started thinking, what if I actually committed to this? What if I stopped treating passive income like a side thing and just lived on it? So I did the math. My monthly expenses at the time were around $1,800. Rent, food, utilities, subscriptions, transport. And I was averaging maybe $750 in passive revenue. That gap, that $1,050 gap, I just told myself I'd figure it out. I had a small savings buffer. I convinced myself the streams would grow once I went all in. That was the first mistake. Week 1 was honestly fine. The money came in. Etsy had a decent couple of days. Gumroad moved a few products. YouTube paid out what it owed from the previous month. I'm sitting there refreshing dashboards feeling like I cracked some kind of code. I genuinely posted in a Discord server I'm in, Day 5, everything is flowing. I was insufferable. Then week 2 hit, and nothing collapsed dramatically. That's the thing nobody tells you. It wasn't one big failure. It was a slow, quiet erosion. The Etsy store had 4 days with 0 sales. Not bad days, 0 days. The stock content royalties, which I thought were passive, turns out someone has to keep uploading new content for those numbers to stay stable. My YouTube AdSense, the platform shifted its payout calculation slightly, and I made about 22% less than the previous month. No warning, no email, just less money. By day 11, I was tracking every dollar with an obsession I've never had when I had a regular paycheck. There's something deeply psychological that happens when income is uncertain. You stop thinking long-term. You start counting what's in your account like it's physically disappearing in real time. Day 12, I almost quit the experiment. I had $340 left in my buffer, and my rent was due in 18 days. My passive streams combined had earned $190 in 12 days. That's it. I needed $1,800 in 18 days from money that was theoretically supposed to just come in.
Here's where it got interesting though. I forced myself to sit down and actually audit every stream properly. Not just check the dashboards, actually look at what was working, why it was working, and what I'd been ignoring. And I found something I had completely overlooked. The Gumroad products that were selling were almost always coming from one specific traffic source. An old blog post I'd written 7 months ago that was still ranking on Google. That post was doing more for my income than anything I'd actively built that month. So I spent 3 days doing nothing but creating 3 more pieces of content designed to rank and drive traffic to that same product. No new product, no new platform, just more doors leading to the same room. I also cut my expenses hard, not in a skip your morning coffee way. I mean, I canceled 4 subscriptions I wasn't using intentionally, renegotiated my phone plan, and moved some spending around. Brought my effective monthly cost down to about $1,440. That gap suddenly looked survivable. By day 21, something shifted. The new content was indexing. One piece started driving traffic on day 19, and by day 22, I had my best Gumroad week since I launched the product. Not thousands of dollars, let me be clear about that, but $340 in 4 days purely from that one traffic source. That's real. Week 4 was the most stable week of the entire month. Not because everything magically worked, but because I understood the actual mechanics for the first time. I'd been treating passive income like a vending machine. Put in effort, get out money. It's not that. It's more like a garden. You plant, you wait, you lose some things, something you forgot about grows back stronger. Final numbers for the 30 days. Total passive income earned, $1,410. Total expenses, $1,540. I came up $130 short. I had to dip into my buffer once to cover the gap.
By most definitions, I failed the experiment. But here's what I actually learned. The passive income dream isn't fake, but the version being sold to you online is. The version where you set it up once and go travel, that's either someone who's already at scale or someone who's lying to you. Real passive income in the early stages is more semi-passive than truly passive. It demands attention, occasional rebuilding, and constant traffic strategy. The passive part comes much later after years of compounding effort. The most important thing I found, passive income tied to evergreen content that ranks, that stays relevant, that solves a real problem, outperforms everything else over time. Not trending content, not viral moments, slow, boring, searchable content that people are actively looking for. The people making real money from passive income aren't the ones who found a shortcut. They're the ones who were consistent long enough that the shortcuts stopped mattering. So the question isn't whether passive income works. The question is whether you're willing to keep going during the months when it feels like it doesn't. And most people quit right before the garden starts growing.